I took this map from Creative Commons Wikipedia, and I tried to identify the ancient political divisions within the Tamil region. So you have the northern part of ancient Tamilagam or Tamil region. It was known as Thondai Mandalam. It's in present day you can map it to the areas around Chennai and Kanchipuram and so on, Chengalpat and so on. So that is Thondai Mandalam, and this used to be the seat of power for the Pallava emperors. And then you have the Kaveri Delta region, present day Tanjavur, Nagapatnam, and all these regions. In olden days, it was known as Chola Mandalam, or the region of Cholas. All right. So you have Thondai Mandalam in the north, the Chola Mandalam in the middle, and then you have the Pandi Mandalam, Madurai, all the way until Kanyakumari, roughly that area. That was known as Pandi Mandalam. So these were mostly political divisions, and the rivers served as natural boundaries, and there were always, skirmishes and sometimes invasions and so on. And then there was a Chera Mandalam, present-day Kerala roughly, which was annexed into the Chola territory during the period we are talking about. So with that in mind, let's look at the distribution of these inscriptions, right? We are talking about 36. And a staggering 26 inscriptions come from this Thondai Mandalam region, which is very significant. This was one of the new findings reported in my research. 72%, very significant. And this indirectly means that the Rama cult and the Rama worship that we are talking about probably dates back to even earlier periods. Why? Because Thondai Mandalam was more powerful during the Pallava times rather than the Chola times. And many of these inscriptions are not talking about constructing a new temple. They are talking about donations to existing temples. So the question of when these temples were originally consecrated is something that we can discuss. And so the focus on Thondai Mandalam provides us some clues that at least some of these temples came into existence even during Pallava times. So which means we have to date back this even further. But let's limit ourselves to definitive epigraphic references, and we'll start from 9th century onwards. All right. This popularity of Rama cult in the Thondai Mandalam area also raises another big question about this poet Kambar and his nativity. Traditionally, many scholars have said that he actually belonged to the Chola country and so on. But interestingly, his patron is actually from the Thondai Mandalam region, which raises a lot of questions, right? Why should a Chola country poet go all the way to Thondai Mandalam and seek patronage from a patron there? And he's a very small patron. He's not like a king or something. So I have raised a lot of questions in my book about the nativity of Kambar. Probably he actually belonged to Thondai Mandalam region, wherein he was already receiving the nucleus of Ram Bhakti since his early times, because rendering such a monumental epic, which has stood the test of time and which is hailed as the pinnacle of Tamil literature, is not something that can happen unless the society in which he grew supported such a cult and tradition. So I have provided a hypothesis that Kambar probably belonged to the Thondai Mandalam region and so on, but we won't get into a lot of details on that today. We are focusing on the Rama temples. So looking further, in terms of the nature of these settlements, from these 21 locations, we see that many of them were Chaturvedi Mangalams, or Brahminical settlements, in which all communities thrived, but they were called Chaturvedi Mangalams because it was probably donated to a group of Brahmins and so on, right? We have 9 of them, so which clearly shows that the Rama cult and Ram Bhakti was thriving in the Chaturvedi Mangalams. And we also have a few urs and other types of settlements. And within those 9 Chaturvedi Mangalams and the urs, there is another interesting phenomenon that emerges, which is the contribution of this emperor about whom I mentioned a little earlier. Here is a solid evidence to his Ram Bhakti and the adoration for Rama. Some of these Chaturvedi Mangalams are called Mathurantaga Chaturvedi Mangalam. In fact, one of the Rama temples that we are going to speak about today is called Mathurandagam, even today. And there is a famous temple of Rama that exists here, and that dates back to the period we are talking about, 10th century. And this title Mathurandaga was very specifically adopted by Parantaka. After he vanquished Madurai and the Pandyas, he bore this title, and he created these settlements called Mathurandaga Chaturvedi Mangalams and even Mathurandaga Nallur, and he established Rama temples in those settlements. So in some ways, he attributed his Mathura victory to Rama. And where is the connection? Because while he was fighting against the Pandyas, the Sri Lankan army was coming in support of Pandyas. Sri Lankans, Sinhalese armies were traditionally allies of the Pandya emperors, because you see the close proximity between Lanka and the Thondai Mandalam. So they were traditional allies. So when Parantaka was fighting Pandyas, the Sri Lankan army came in support of Pandyas, and he had to fight both armies, and he vanquished them. And not just that, but there are many other reasons for this emperor's adoration, but this is probably one of the reasons for his association and Ram Bhakti.